Iheanacho to Nottingham Forest is fee agreed, but just how much is it? And are Forest getting themselves a good deal? Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. In today's video, we finally have some forward movement on a player, as Iheanacho is fee agreed, if you believe the reports coming out. We got links and talks about a keeper that was joining Forest, but may not be joining Forest because he got hacked. We're going to be talking about the new membership rates as well, and Forest finally give Manchester United an ultimatum on the Dean Henderson deal. Before we do all that, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And coming up tonight, we've got a live stream for you from 8 p.m. Make sure you're tuned in, as Tom Brooks will be joining us to talk all things Nottingham Forest. And one final thing to mention. The FFTV barbecue date has been set. It is now official. We will be hopefully meeting loads of you lovely guys at the Trent Nav on Sunday, the 6th of August from 3 p.m. We'll have a live show, we'll have a barbecue, we'll have all kinds of fun and chat. All the details will flow through now, but make sure you mark that date in your diary. Let's jump into this and let's talk about Iheanacho. All right, guys, let's jump straight into this and talk about Iheanacho, who is quoted to be valued at 15 to 20 million pounds. And literally, it seems that Forest have pulled Leicester's pants right down, if these reports are true, as an £8 million fee has been agreed in principle. And even the details of the personal terms are not too far off. There are a couple of things apparently that still need ironing out. But this is fantastic business. Look, for me, Iheanacho isn't a number one choice striker, but I do believe he's a player with a lot of talent and can help to bolster our squad. Do I see him as better than Awoniyi? I personally don't think so. I think Awoniyi was in red hot form at the end of last season. But what do you guys think? Who's the better player out of the two strikers? Get your thoughts in down below. Thing with Iheanacho, though, he works better as a 2. Rather than as a solo striker up front. And I can potentially see Cooper moulding this team to fit the formation that he so much loves, which was the formation we used in the Championship, and he used that previously in Swansea in England, which would be that 3 or 5 back 2-1-2. And I think you could see potentially Iheanacho and Awoniyi on the pitch at the same time. Now, this transfer comes with its own problems. It's not all sweets and gravy. So what's that even saying? Anyway, because he is from Nigeria, he plays for the national team, and the AFCON Cup is coming up in January. And there will be a 4-week period where potentially, if this deal gets finalized and goes deal done, he'll be away. You'll have Awoniyi away. And if Dennis doesn't leave, and again, it looks like he's on the move, potentially that's 3 of our attack taken straight out with the AFCON. Not to mention the likes of Niakate, Cheick, Serge Aurier. We have the most African players in the Premier League, which is actually I quite like. But when it comes to the whole AFCON thing, it does come with its headaches. But forget that for a second. We can talk about that on a separate video. Let's talk about the player himself. He is really clinical in front of goal. He wasn't given the chance by Rodgers at Leicester. For whatever reason, he fell out of favour. Daku was played ahead of him. Even Grandad Vardy was being played ahead of him. And I do think he's Premier League level. We talked about his goal scoring streak from a few seasons ago where he went 7 in a row scoring. And he is that. He is a bit of a streaky player. He's the kind of player that needs a run in a team, needs a run of confidence to help him. And he does provide the finishes. On top of that, I quite like his pace. I quite like there is already chemistry between him, Awoniyi, Dennis, and a couple of the other players. So he's not coming into a completely foreign environment. It's always good to come in and have some allies. But it's the fee that really grabs my attention. I am shocked that Leicester have gone that low. But in a way, it does make sense when you look at it, because this is Championship tax. Once you're relegated, whatever you thought that player was worth 3 months ago, half it. And that's exactly what's happened here. He's gone from 16 million down to 8 million pounds, which is fantastic business. Leicester, of course, are splashing the cash. They're trying to buy in a couple of crappers from Spurs. They're trying to buy in a Connor Cody, I think's already gone to Leicester. There's all these players they're trying to build for a championship squad and a high tier, if you like, championship squad. So Iheanacho has to be one of those players that funds it. They've already sold Maddison to Spurs for 45 million. It's one of those ones where this kind of makes sense. They can offload him. He's probably overkill for the championship and is still Premier League level, and they can probably still get away with it. But Leicester fans, if you're watching, how are you feeling about this deal? Have Forest pulled your pants down? As far as I'm concerned, you probably could have got 13 million out of this one from us. And it looks like you blinked first. But guys, Forest fans, this question is for you. Are you happy with this deal? Would you start him? Or do you think he's back up to Awoniyi? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's move on and talk about another striker, or attacker, should I say, for Nottingham Forest. And this is the age-old one. It's Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson has been identified now as Aston Villa's #1 target after they've signed the likes of Talisman from Leicester on a free, and they're bringing in Torres as well at centre-back. The next target for Emre is Brennan Johnson. And I've said to you guys throughout the weeks, this is the club that worries me the most, because Brennan Johnson to Villa has logic behind it. They can offer him that next step up in his career progression, which would be European football. They can offer him stability under good management in a place in the Midlands which isn't, let's be honest, a million miles away from Nottingham Forest. Now, I know Jono's recently bought a house. I know he lived with DJ and his family, so to speak, for quite a while. He has a house, and some people are saying, well, is that going to impact him going or not? The bottom line is, there's still no offers. There's no talks between the clubs yet about him going. Potentially, this is still paper talk, but it's going to grow in momentum as the weeks go on. And I honestly can see Villa coming in with an offer for Jono. The problem is as well that Villa have already seen what's been rejected from the likes of Brentford. They've seen the price tag that Forest have put on him, which would probably be in excess of 50 to 60 million pounds. And they're still coming out saying they're interested and he's a #1 target for them. Therefore, that price tag may actually not scare them off. And people forget that Villa have one of the richest owners in the Premier League. I think they're in the top 5. So money on this isn't a huge problem. So can it happen? Maybe. I'm starting to get a little nervous about it. The 60 million, as we keep saying, every player has his price. That could fund a lot of Forest. That really could, with what they need to do, not just only on the pitch, but off the pitch. Let's not forget, there's a new stand that needs building. There's work like crazy that needs to go on in the backroom offices. Training facility needs improving. There's so many structural infrastructure things that need to be fixed by Forest, because we made that jump from Championship to Premier League completely unexpected. And where clubs would normally have like a 5-year plan to get things done, Forest have had to accelerate it into weeks rather than years. And that comes at a cost. So I do worry that if the right number gets put on the table in front of the Greek father, he may actually sign it off. But how do you guys feel about this one? And do you think Villa is probably the right profile club that Jono would move to? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's move on to a bit of a weird story, and that's Mateus from Braga, the goalkeeper who Forest bidded about 3.9 million for and had the bid rejected. And the rumours were that Forest were going to go back in for he's a decent keeper, by the way, for him. However, there was a conversation between him and a Forest fan on Instagram on DMs, where the Forest fan said, "Welcome to Nottingham Forest." And he responded back saying, "Thank you, can't wait." When he was asked, "Is the deal done?" the answer came through saying, "Yes, just a few details to come in. Can't wait to see everyone at Forest," or words to those effect. And that sent Twitter crazy, saying, what is going on here? What's happening with Hendo? Is this guy going to be our new #1? Is he in as a #2? He's too good to be a #2. And then it comes out that Braga was hacked on Instagram. The usual hack story that comes out, which is quite amusing in itself. Well, it's not amusing that he got hacked, but the whole story is a little bit weird. So, what does this all mean? Well, firstly, if you believe what's being said and that he's hacked, then fine. But I'm a little more skeptical about it, because I do feel that Forest are potentially using this bidding against Henderson, because we've seen bids on about 2 or 3 other keepers. And the reports as well do tend to mirror the way I'm thinking, as Forest are now starting to get pissed with Manchester United, and are almost at the stage of doing what I said they should have done a week or two ago, and to give them an ultimatum and a deadline, to say to them, here's the 15 mil offer or whatever it is, even if it reaches 30, you've got until the 4th of July, Independence Day, to make your decision and get us Henderson. Otherwise, we are walking away. And they need to have that ballsy stance with Manchester United. And the reports now are that that is the approach that they may look to take, because it is roadblocking and slowing down our transfer window. We have to get a keeper in. It's a number one priority on Steve Cooper's list. But it seems like Forest are doing deals one at a time. Whereas last season there was 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 22 deals on the cards all at the same time, and a nice revolving door of players coming in. It seems that Forest this transfer window are being more pragmatic and really nailing through deals one at a time. So, do I expect this player to come through, Mateus from Braga? I don't know. I think he's too good to be a number 2. If he does sign for Forest, potentially the Hendo deal may be falling through. But I can't see Forest walking away from it. I think Hendo's too embedded with the Forest ecosystem and the culture for it not to happen. But am I sensing frustration now from Nottingham Forest as in the club? Yes, I am. And rightly so. And it is now time for them to put their foot down and really put their foot across Man U's throat, so to speak. So that's the latest on the keeper situation. A bid was put in for Mateus. It was rejected, and the talks are that a second bid has gone in or is going in. But the sense behind it is getting a little confusing right now. What do you guys think about the whole keeper situation? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's move on and talk about the new membership structure at Nottingham Forest. But before we do, a quick reminder, hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to Forest Fan TV. And don't forget, tonight from 8 PM, we'll be joined by Tom Brooks as we talk all things Nottingham Forest. Okay, so the new membership scheme has changed. There's been some relabeling and some hiking of prices well, it's predictable. We're in the Premier League now. I don't really have too much of a problem with it. So, the gold and silver memberships from last year have been renamed and recharged as, let me get this right, My Forest Pro members. And this will be at a cost of £95. And these will give you guarantees that the ticket availability for home matches will be there. What they've done though, they've added a My Forest Plus, which they've rebranded from the bronze one. And members who do this one will get secondary priority on match day tickets. So that means you won't be guaranteed your ticket, but you should be in potentially with a good shout for grabbing a ticket. Then there's been, and that's £65. Then there's been this new tier added, which is called My Forest Membership. It's at £35 and it gives you the excess tickets. There's absolutely no guarantee you become the third priority, if you like, in terms of ticket availability. But this is quite nice because it's a worldwide kind of membership that they're doing. So if you're buying this membership, you're not really looking at getting to games. Maybe you live in Australia. I know quite a few of you do, America, wherever it may be across the world. And you want access into other things. So for example, you'll get digital programs, which I think is a really nice touch. You can access those. You can look at discounts in the retail shop. You get early access to some of the new items launched in the retail shops and lots of nice little perks like that. So it does keep you slightly more connected to the club than maybe some of you have been feeling before. So although the prices have gone up, I don't think it's the end of the world. At the end of the day, you don't have to buy it if you don't want it. But it is good to see that some of the structure, because it's been an absolute farce in terms of ticket allocations, getting tickets from last season. It's been quite a mess, especially trying to book them off the website, etc. So hopefully this has been sorted and the way of booking tickets will improve next season, but the proof will be in the pudding for that. So some perks you can get, let me just shout them out with the new £35 membership, third priority for tickets, exclusive gifts as well. You get early access to key retail launches, priority access to club events, monthly competitions, digital programming, ticket exchange program as well. You get selected retail offers and you get the My Forest membership card. So those are the main perks that come with that. But the prices have gone up. And obviously, we've talked before about the concession prices disappearing completely. That's still the case with the season tickets. But there is also a youth ticket here available for 25 quid. It goes into the third priority level, and that's at 25 quid. And there's also a children's one, which is a 4 to 11s, I think it is. And that's for 25 quid as well. So they've restructured it. But how do you guys feel about it? Do you think it's a step in the right direction? Or do you think they're fishing for a bit of extra pounds over the cashier's till? Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Okay, let's talk to you about a quick roundup of some other news that's moving around. I know we didn't do a video yesterday because we were up in Nottingham just sorting out all the barbecue details. Again, a reminder, the date will be Sunday, the 6th of October. From 3 p.m, the doors will open. More details will come out, the tickets, etc. We'll keep you posted on how to grab all of those. But get that date in your diary because it's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Quick roundup of some other news. Forest have been linked with a Swansea striker, I believe it is. Someone I've never seen play. Apparently he scores a lot of goals. I'm going to say I'm not interested in him. We need to be looking higher than the Championship. Yes, I know Iheanacho technically is a Championship player now, but he's played the majority of his career in the Premier League. And the one that's interesting is Gustavo Scarpa. Scarpa has been linked with clubs like Besiktas from the Turkish league. And he is still adamant that he's staying at Nottingham Forest. He still wants to live his boyhood dream, which is to play in the Premier League. So why would he go across to the Turkish league when he's currently in the Premier League? I think he's showing a fantastic attitude. And I really do hope and pray that Steve Cooper will use him and start him next season because the boy has amazing talent and he is good enough for the Premier League. Until I get proven wrong on this, I will be backing him. So that's a quick roundup of the excess news. Honestly, there's a couple of other stories. We'll bring them to you maybe tomorrow. I don't want this video to go on and on, but those are your key Nottingham Forest headlines. We'll discuss this and the rest of it all on tonight's live stream from 8 p.m. So make sure you are tuned in there. If you've enjoyed the content, please don't forget to give the video a quick like if you haven't already. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new here. And go grab the final few tickets left for this beautiful signed framed shirt from our friends at Football Prizes. It's got a TV screen, LEDs, the full shebang. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. And come on, you Reds.